we had started a film collective called Yugantar, and the members were Abha Bhaiya, who we all know now. Then there was Navroz Contractor, who was actually the only uh, film, the person proficient in filmmaking. We were all amateurs. Who's a cinematographer and graduate from FTII. There was Meera Rao, who was a writer. At the time, it's not just 1980, but I think even emergency, post-emergency, you already had a lot of women who were coming out of left movements, who were looking for a space where they could raise those kind of concerns, those issues. Those sort of nebulous formations were taking place, discussions were happening, little publications were being published. So this had already started, I think from 77 onwards. So by the time we came to like late 79, I remember Abha and I at that stage also to describe that the women's movement at the time was such an exciting space to be in, and I think though we talk a lot about the politics, we never talk about just how pleasurable it was, to be with women, to be part of these discussions, part of these protests. It seems like endlessly women were on the street. You would find so many things, whether it was price rise or whether it was obscenity in cinema, whether it was dowry murders. So in that kind of very exciting space, it was a very narrow idea at that time that let's just document, for example, what's happening with women in the informal sector and unionization, women and work, women and labor. This was the kind of scope of what we were thinking at the time, and we had known about the domestic workers union in Pune that had been formed, also what was happening in Nepal. So initially, when you talk about precedents, I can't think of film precedents really. I can't think of that kind of thing. But it was really a practice that was generated as we did it. It was a process. The process had many aspects, in the sense of what were we observing, what were the conversations we were having with women, and then how do you create a vehicle or some kind of formal structure to contain the radical potential of what we were listening and watching. But I think the spark for me, I think even in the first film, which of course has stayed for me ever since, has just been I would call it voice in the broadest sense of that word, not just literally, but in every sense of how women present their selves intact, that whenever women got together, even in these union meetings, even in Molkarin, for example, there is a space, and there is a way in which, if you can see a kind of political consciousness being birthed, I can't explain it any other way. So I think it's in those discussions, I think that's where the first idea came, that what we have to just, if you like, present this process as we've seen it, and could we convey the excitement, and could we convey the just jaw dropping what we were watching. I mean, I think that's how it started, and what I loosely call the power of the speaking group and voice, and how that kind of political subjecthood that's being created as we watch. It really began in 1980 with that, and somehow that has stayed. This way of watching women theorize their struggle, their location, the way they see the issues that they are embedded in. That has sort of stayed. I think in all of my work.